right. So our deck does not have a lot of cheap early plays. We've got Wave into potentially something bigger next turn. We'll see. We obviously can't Infinite because it says here you can't play as you played a card the previous turn. Only have a couple of cards that cost less than 3, so it's not too atypical for our. I wonder how Leader interacts with Invisible Woman. So this doesn't reveal cards here. I have to imagine the answer is not profitable.
Wind, aid my hand.
Okay, they stormed New York. Okay, so flooding means cards can't be played here. So that means Leader's almost assuredly gonna be great here, right? Because he's 4 power and then he copies whatever they play, so he should win this path then. Yeah, because we get +4. Oh, they pulled our wave over too. I guess that's like only okay for us. Okay, so actually don't have too great of a setup here on the final turn. I have Hobgoblin. I can play this turn to send them over for -8, but then I only have +8 for myself next turn. I think that's probably good enough. They did their first balance patch already, yeah. I guess I could have just passed the turn this turn to set up Infinite for the following turn, perhaps. Oh, we have Chavez guaranteed for the last turn. Yeah, that should be fine, right? And then honestly, do we just Chavez left into the Monster Metropolis? Because they're losing here by 2, and then Chavez will have the highest power here, so she'll take the +3 from this. So they'll be down here by 12. I think this is good for us. Snap and ship it. I'm losing. All right, so I assume that's a backup? No? Okay, and they had Odin to send Hobgoblin back to us, but that's fine because we played into Monster Metropolis here. So they stayed in for the extra cubes, seeing if we'd play into Hala, but splitting the difference here is definitely ideal. All right, none of our early 1s and 2s here, but we've got Electro, who accelerates us into a 5-drop on 4. We've got Captain Marvel lined up into that, so that's great. Cards revealed this turn. That doesn't really matter. Just drop this in the center. Oh, this is actually clever. So this is the on reveal to ramp. So playing this into the danger room is actually quite smart because it means that if it gets destroyed, you actually lose the ongoing effect, which is kind of upside. You lose the 2 power, but you lose the ongoing effect too. Black Bolt, not particularly useful here, but it's got some sweet alters. We just Leader here, right? Just copy whatever they play. They get to play a 6-drop this turn too. I guess maybe I'm supposed to Magneto this turn because they could be banking mana to play a Infinite next turn. So the fact that they could be an Infinite deck as well perhaps means I'm not supposed to do this turn. did not get punished, which is nice. And then honestly, I think we just Odin the leader, right? Just like copy whatever they do. That probably puts us ahead. This card seems really strong. Oh, that's true. Odin to leader beats the Infinite line too. Yeah, I like it. We have our Sunspot on one, and we have Wave and Jubilee here. Honestly, I think this hand is strong enough that we snap on one. Well, so the way you acquire cards in this game, Cedrus, everybody has the exact same pool 1 and pool 2 cards for like the first month you acquire things. One of my kind of to-do list things is to focus on making some decks that are explicitly reasonable with just pull 1 and pull 2 cards. But for now, on the Snap YouTube channel, be sure to check out what's it called? The Zoo deck that's up there. This card's actually really annoying, because it means that my wave doesn't flip up this turn, which is sad. I guess this means I can wave this turn into Jubilee next turn into 6 is probably fine. Opponent just did nothing this turn? Well, that's great for us. Oh, leader does work with Invisible Woman. That's interesting. Wow, and now we get to Odin the Jubilee in the leader here. This is kind of sick. Maybe I'm supposed to wait to Odin the leader until turn 6. Could be true. Okay, well, I mean, that's gas. Hopefully that's good enough to win the game. So this is a Swordmaster and this is a Hela. So where do we want a Magneto? Is it just left? Yeah, it's copy at every location. It's really sick. I think we just Magneto left and hope this is good enough. They're gonna get to reanimate a bunch here. Oh god. Okay, so we've died to Hela. Alright, almost assuredly torched, right? I would have won the way their Hela RNG went if I would have put Magneto mid, right? Maybe because they're a Hela deck, I'm supposed to hedge the location where they're going to have the fewest things added. So if Magneto would have gone here, we would have had 25, and then Captain Marvel would have soared over to the mid to make it 31 for us. Obviously, if it works out like Infinite spawns here, but I think it's probably correct in general to just hedge the path that has Hela in it as the one we can beat. Oh, I didn't put my infinite split sunspot in here. You should do that. Invariant. Oh, we finished a mission too. Like 100 power worth of cards. That rather quickly. Well, this hand is super awkward. We've got a couple of draws here to find one of our threes. Okay, sick. And there's a wave. Wave makes everything better.
Oh, snap.
I think wave into leader is a snap in most of these games, especially when we have Odin set up to Odin leader on the last turn. Their squirrels from their squirrel girl didn't last particularly long.
Opponent snapped.
I guess we're leadering into Mojo World.
Wind, aid my hand. Wind, aid my hand.
And then I think on 5, we just Captain Marvel into here because that hedges. Do we? I guess I could just like Jubilee. Magneto's actually gonna pull these out of here, right? So I probably don't need to play into flooding at all. It's a little sad I'm not gonna be. Oh, I could have played Sunspot too. It's a little sad I'm not gonna be able to Odin the leader here because of Storm. Bad beat. Alright, we guessed right here. Magneto. This last turn ended up being a coin flip. Magneto pulls these out, so we win left and center. Or left and right and center. All of the chonkiest friends. Wave into leader and Sanctatorium flipped up while we have Captain Marvel. I think that's a snap. There's a benefit in snapping early when you have a strong hand. So that way your opponent has to commit to playing the game before they know what you're going to be doing to them. Quite is a decent start for them. Gives every card in their deck +1 power. Black Widow is sweet, so she adds a Widow's Bite to their hand, which says cards can't be drawn from their deck, and then they have to kind of play it out onto the board. So this is a card that's kind of extra good in a spot like this where the Sanctatorium is another limited location. So I kind of already have limited spots to play to, and now the Widow's Bite's going to take up even more. So my opponent elected to do nothing this turn, which almost makes me want to hold the wave. Ruining Titan, or are we ruining the Sanctum? The Sanctum staying up, I think, is very good for us. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and Hobgoblin the runes here. Actually, do I Hobgoblin the runes, or do I Hobgoblin the base If I Hobgoblin the base, we almost assuredly win this. And then Captain Marvel can slide left to win that. And then we win left and center. This is good for us. Yeah, that looks great. All right, and then we'll Captain Marvel here. And then honestly, depending on what kind of big turn they're setting up for on turn 6, Leader might actually just win this, huh? Oh, you know what? I probably should have Captain Marvel mid, because if they flood 4 cards here on the last turn, Leader could copy them all. Well, they played all 4 this turn, it would seem. And they played out fully because of Sunspot here. So I assume they're going to concede before the last turn here because they see Captain Marvel's going to jump over. Yeah. Solid win. Hobgoblin locking up that center. Captain Marvel getting the slide to the left. Doing exactly what our deck wants to do here for sure. Leader is ready for an upgrade, chip. If you haven't seen Snap before, the card upgrades don't impact the power level of the card. It's simply the cosmetic caliber of it. So if you look at the different cards in my deck, there's different color borders, and then when we click on them, they pop out in different levels of animated effects. Sometimes they glow around the edges. They get a little bit more fancy as you go. And the leveling up the cosmetics of your cards is how you work towards getting more collection level. So the basics are relatively straightforward, Lucos. There's 3 locations in the center. Every card has a mana cost here and a power here. And the goal is to have the most power in 2 of the 3 locations at the end of the game. And then obviously the complexity is from the card text. So this hand has what I refer to as the combo in this deck. So Black Widow gives them this Widow's Bite, which denies one of their draws and then fills the space on their board when they play it out. And then Wave says next turn, all cards both players cost 4. And then Odin on 4 re-triggers both Black Widow and Wave, locking them out of a draw and the ability to replay Widow's Bite plus something else the following turn. So like this turn, they'll get to play the Widow's Bite out, but then in 2 turns, they're going to be stuck with it because of Odin re-triggering these. Deck building in Marvel Snap is 12 card singleton. Yes, so decks are very consistent. But a lot of the variety in games of Marvel Snap comes from these location tiles in the center. My opponent is just torched by a wave and is conceded. Yeah. One of the things that I think Marvel Snap does really well is because the location tiles are the key source of variance in the game, it allows deck building to feel very impactful. I see 75% of my deck in a game, so my deck's very good at doing what I want it to do, but the games still have a lot of variance in gameplay thanks to how the tiles work in the center. Really, they really hit a sweet spot with it. Normally decks being too consistent leads to a lack of varied gameplay, and the mission tiles fix that. Yes, and the variance in general in Marvel Snap is a lot more tolerable than other card games, in my opinion, because the games are short. The game ends after 6 turns, calculating who has the most power in 2 of the 3 spots. So, like, your longest games are like 5 minutes. Early place here for our deck. Mindscape is a little annoying. So we're gonna have to give them one of our big 6-drops, basically. Okay, they're gonna have some big 6-drops for us as well. I really like this Electro Altar. It's sweet. It's just a Hobgoblin turn. I'm gonna leader right, just in case they Odin us. There's some Doom bots for everyone. We swap hands around here. So what did I give them? I gave them a Magneto. I'm currently winning 2 of the 3 locations. Magneto could pull Electro out of here, though. If I Chavez here and they Magneto here, they'll be winning here by 2. And we're winning here by 5 and tied here, so that's a win for us. So I think we stay.
Opponent snapped.
Opponent snapped. What am I thinking of that's not Magneto? I guess if they Magneto here, they'll be up.
Victory.
They just do nothing? Weird. I guess the snap was a bluff, huh? And you just can't retreat. You can't retreat once you snap. So I think that was a pure bluff, but Magneto is like their best play out of our hand, and we beat Magneto here and here, right? Because if they Magneto here, it puts them to 16, and it pulls Electro here, which puts us to 11. So they'd be up 5 here, and we're up 8 here. So Chavez left wins Magneto in either of these locations. Now, I think it was just a bluff, seeing if I'd retreat. Because I didn't snap, right? So they wanted to push, saying, okay, I can beat what I gave you. Oh, we cleared Infinite MK. We got it. So, Sinister London copies a card when you play it here. Copies of Sunspot work the way we want them to, in that when they collect, one of them collects energy, they all collect energy. Double Black Widow actually kind of sounds like gas here as well, right? Especially considering their, well, huh. So I was thinking double Black Widow sounds good because putting 2 Widow Bites in their hand when they're already limited on space because of Sinister London, but I really don't want to gamble London is going to put me into Superflow like it did them here, because I would like to Jubilee next turn now. So I think I actually just snap and pass, and we let both of these Sunspots get +2. Yeah, but it's conceding. Probably because they went into Superflow there. Our daily card booster limit was exceeded. Okay, so someone on Twitter said that the booster limit is actually bugged with Agatha at the moment. So I want to switch to the Agatha deck and see if that's true. Let's switch to this. Agatha is a kind of weird card. So she's a 6 mana, 13 power card. It's a little cut off, but we'll play the game in a second. That says starts in your hand and plays your card for you. So she's an AI that you try and build your deck in a way that maximizes the AI's ability to play it correctly. Was our deck selector bugged here? Snap is in closed beta at the moment. Let's restart the old client. Haven't seen that one before. 3 boosters and the deck plays itself. What type of farming fever dream are we living in, right? One of the things to note about Agatha's AI is that she always plays herself if possible. So if she waves on 3, I'm gonna snap, because if Agatha gets into play on turn 4, oh gosh. Okay, now let's see if they play Electro, Domino, or Wave. They play at random. Okay, they played Electro, but they played Electro into the Shadowlands, so we're gonna have the extra from Superflow here still. Oh, and they waved for us. Okay, that's a snap. I've done a 10 out of 10 snapping here because Agatha's getting... Anytime Agatha gets into play before turn 5, I think you just always snap with the stack. Because once Agatha gets into play, we get to control the rest of the game. So Agatha is now on the board, so I get control of turns 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, turn 3 Agatha is real good. Giganto is a 14 power card that can only be played left. Lockjaw, okay. That's a sunspot, not too scary. And a rock, okay. What does rock turn into? Turns in Lockjaw is really not good when you get Subterranean shit. Really not good when you get Subterranean. So I think we just Hulk left, right? And then if I Magneto center, it pulls Lockjaw and Wave into the middle, which means Agatha wins right and then will win left. They didn't play anything, so they could Infinite me this turn, but if they Infinite left, I win center and right, and if they Infinite center, I win left and right. So we're definitely in it to win it here. So, oh, that's hilarious. So we moved the Lockjaw over so that we were winning even without that, but it's extra funny that that happened. Because Magneto sucks 3s and 4s over, so he pulled Lockjaw, and then their 20 power Dorko got flipped into a storm. LOL. I was lied to, chat. Someone told me that Agatha gets around the daily booster limit. That does not look to be the case. Let's double check. I have 11 boosters for Agatha right now. Let's play one more game and we'll double check and see if we still have 11. So our deck is guaranteed to draw Domino on turn 2, because Domino's special text here is you always draw this on turn 2 and not before. Now there are 6 cards left in my deck, one of whom is Chavez, who we don't draw till turn 6. So we are 40% to draw one of our 2 3-mana accelerants next turn. So 40% to have a really good draw here. Jubilee's not terrible, I suppose, at least because it's something to do on turn 4. Okay, and then we we drew Electro here, and they played Electro instead of Jubilee, but that does mean we will get to get Agatha into play on 5, which means we get to control turn 6. Because again, Agatha's AI says, if you can play me, I always get played. The question is going to be, can our 2 big plays beat whatever Nakia is going to flood the board with? Because a lot of their cards are plus power at this point. This could be a try to win right and left angle, with Bishop being committed to the center. Yeah, probably a lot of 1s and 2s for the opponent. Ooh, they discarded Swarm. So Swarm... Alright, so they are about to swarm the board hard. And their Bishop's about to get huge. Yeah, so we're definitely going to back out. I actually have the Cow Swarm deck in my deck list is actually this archetype. It, like, uses Hell Cow and Blade to get a bunch of Swarms to play on the last turn for free. I think it's a little bit worse than the Sarah Storm deck overall, but definitely has good ones like this. Alright, let's double check the booster count on Agatha here. If it is bugged, we'll have more than 11. Survey says... Nope, just 11. The internet lied to me, chat. The internet lied to me. That's fine. I think I want to play some more of the show and tell deck anyways. I think I want to put a highlight video up with this, because Leader's been really sweet. One of our cheaper cards is not really a great start here. Limbo is good for our deck. Our deck likes taking lots of extra turns with all of our chunky top end. Jubilee, Leader, and Odin are all wonderful to have together. Limbo means that potentially we can Odin our Leader even without an accelerant. Yeah, the stat mechanic is really good, Lucas. I agree. Sunspot in a Mojo World. I'm gonna get units here for its upside. And we'll probably Jubilee here as well. That's a wave. Okay, I think I'm gonna wave because wave lets me play 6 drops on turns 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, Lucas, this top 5 reasons I think Marvel Snap is awesome video highlights the core things I think are great about this game. So this is lighting up red because we'll have to play here next turn. They did nothing. They're just soaking energy into Sunspot again here. Ours got a little bit of power there.
Clear for takeoff.
Okay, and we'll go ahead and play Leader out here. Copies whatever they play this turn, and Wave makes their stuff cheaper, so they could have a big play here potentially. Leader into the location they're going to play into so long as we have space basically ensures that we stay ahead. Okay, that's interesting. So Dracula discards a card from her hand and gains its power. which is potentially good with the Infinite here. Maybe, maybe. I'm gonna Odin the leader this turn, I think. I suppose they could take this turn off to Infinite, so maybe that's a reason to wait. What's left in my deck? I have Black Widow and Electro in my deck, so I really don't want to play Jubilee. Maybe we just take this chance to play Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel in the middle. Okay, so they've set themselves up to win mid here. I think we just Odin the leader at this point. Although Hobgoblin makes Dracula a little sketch. We have 3 good cards to bid to Dracula here. We're guaranteed to win Mojo World by Odining the leader here, which is nice. Because if they play out here, we'll fill this well. I guess I could play, like, theoretically 4 things that beat our 4 things. It seems pretty unlikely. I'm not going to snap back here because this could end poorly with our 1 power thing and our -8 power thing, but I think we're a favorite here, so I'm going to stay. Okay, so they have a +20 power here. The question is, do we hit ours? Alright, well, sick beats.
Defeat.
We win that with even Chavez discarding, right? We'd be +18 here, which would be... +18 would be... Oh, it'd only be 25. We don't need it exactly our Infinite. Yeah, interesting. I didn't put them on the way they played that game out. I did not put them on playing the all 1-drop deck, but maybe I should have because of Dracula. Leader definitely biting us a little bit there. Sunspot on 1 is lovely, and we have Weave into leader. Sounds great. Odin into leader now too. Sick. I think we just... I think I want to spread out where my cards are to give leader the best chance to copy all their stuff. No longer getting my sunspots a little sad. Then we can safely leader middle because whatever they play here, he'll mimic back, so we're guaranteed to win that path. Okay. And then, so this is interesting. So Warpath is bigger if one of your locations is empty. Oh, but I guess Hobgoblin actually keeps this empty, right? So if we Hobgoblin into Clintar, this will give them -10 here. See, I think this is an easy snap with the Hobgoblin, right? And then next turn we get to Odin the leader in the middle. So then we just Odin here, so that way we leader copy whatever they play in these two paths and likely win. It is a very dirty Hobgoblin. This is one of my favorite designs in the game. It's got such sneaky plays in spots like this. Put it back out.
Victory.
Solid. That's sweet. This card's really powerful design. Someone asked, do you think Dracula is healthy if there's no counterplay? Things like Black Bolt and Moon Knight are counterplay to Dracula. You also don't always have Infinite with your Dracula. And sometimes you can't always get your hand empty with Dracula. So, Dracula doesn't always work, and it has a pretty steep specific deck building requirement, so I think it's largely fine. Sunspot on 1, lovely. The Black Widow on 2. The board has become very cluttered shit. Which, incidentally, makes Black Widow giving them a Widow's Bite slightly better. Like, okay, you have to commit one of your board spots to this kind of useless card. Hobgoblin, also pretty okay on a cluttered board. I don't think I'm playing Z2 out because the board's so gummed up. Jubilee here. Likely hits Chavez. 5 cards in deck. She's statistically floating on top. That could have gone better, but it also could have gone worse. Moon Knight got their Swarm. That's a pretty good beat. Am I supposed to leader here? Part of me wants to just Hobgoblin. If I Hobgoblin and they play 2 out here, I get kind of in trouble though. This is a bit of a gamble. Because if they fill their location, there's not room to slide this over. We are super dead. Yeah, it was impossible to know if they were gonna pick this turn to Swarm or not. So we'll bounce out for 1 cube. And honestly, talking about variance reducing mechanics, the fact how the cube system works is a variance reducing mechanic in and of itself, because the games where you're getting unlucky, if you're playing well, you're getting out of them for less cubes than you otherwise are in games where you're winning with stronger hands, which is nice. Dr. Sheriff, good morning. Actually, a little fortunate for us that Black Widow flipped up before the Collector here, because otherwise Black Widow putting the Widow's Bite in their hand actually makes Collector bigger. Are we electroing? I think we are. And then the question is, do we want to do it middle or right? I think I want to do it middle because I want to Jubilee into the sewer system. It's close though. Okay, I think we Jubilee here, and then next turn we can leader mid, and then potentially Odin the leader or Odin the Jubilee on 6. So, actually, kind of an interesting dynamic. Am I better off leadering here? So that way, regardless of where they play, I have space in these spots? Maybe that's the line? Because then if I Odin here as well, I'll be a total of plus 4, 8 plus 1 is 9. We're going to add 9 more here. So I guess we're still going to lose this pass. The question is, do I want a leader here and potentially fill this space? I think I want it here, because whatever they're doing in these spots, we just copy it, and then we're winning these spots still, right? Okay, well, that could have gone better. Oh, I think hitting the Lady Sif means we're dead. Well, I guess we could just Magneto here, right? And then maybe we win. This might do it, actually. This is going to put us to 19. And they could Apocalypse here. I think we're winning the tiebreaker. We'll be plus 5 here. Their Apocalypse got discarded 1, so it's 12 at the moment, so it'll only be plus 11, so it'll be 16 to 14, and we'll be 19 to... Yeah, so they'll be up 2 and we'll be up 5. And if they play Apocalypse mid, they'll win mid, but we'll win left and right. Oh, and we're actually going to go up to 20 here as well, right? Because we have 1 extra energy because of Electro. So Sunspot's going to soak that up for us. They did Nakia, so they could flood the board with a bunch of stuff here as well. It feels like a weird gamble. There's like, assuming we can't beat them left. I think this is a game that they only stayed in because we didn't snap. I bet if we snapped there, they would have backed out. Which is also an interesting, from min-maxing what you're climbing up the ladder, like when you're not supposed to snap to let your opponent limp into the end to maximize cube extraction from them. Yeah, the snap limp, it's got a lot of heads-up poker vibes. As someone who played a lot of that back in college. It's a really neat dynamic, min-maxing how many cubes you're getting out of people in different situations. I think Ghost Rider is probably the strongest card in the game at the moment, if I had to posit an estimation. And Magic, I don't know if Magic's busted, but she's definitely the card I want the most out of Pool 3. So, naturally, I don't have Magic or Ghost Rider, because they're 2 of the cards I'd like the most. Ghost Rider adds the most power to the game for the least amount of effort. But I mean, like, even Nakia's level of busted, right? Like, when Nakia's cracked, she's, like, effectively 11 or 13 power for 3 mana. Ghost Rider is, like, often 23 power for 3 mana. comes down to it. So Elysium's a good location for us in general, but we are going to lose these cards currently in our hand here in a second. Yeah, so when the first day they demoed Snap, Jareth, they had two of their people that were demoing it show kind of a heads up gameplay mode where both players played until one of them won 8 cubes, which is neat. Solid Jubilee here. Well, the odds of hitting 0 Jubilee things in the odds of hitting zero Jubilees or 0 Chavezes in 2 hits is real low. We just Hobgoblin right here. I don't want to play Hobgoblin into the left side because they've got Nova and Bucky here, which are cards that want to be destroyed. So Hobgoblin is notably pretty bad against decks that are destroying their own cards, but maybe because Hobgoblin is bad here, I'm supposed to Captain Marvel in the on this turn. So, leader only got to copy one of their cards here, so I have to imagine they're about to get more power than us middle, which is sad. Alright, I think we've been torched, chat. Alright, noted that both leader and Hobgoblin are bad into the destroy archetype. That game cost us 1 cube, but it gave us the gift of learning. Hey, Grolden, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. I really appreciate the support. This is my full-time gig, and I wouldn't be able to be without folks like you. Thanks for keeping me around. Going on, Incendium. Sunspot on 1 sounds lovely. Wave on 3 also sounds lovely. Okay, we're an Odin away from comboing them with the old Black Widow wave lockout. I think I wave rather than Electro just for the optimism of spiking the Odin next turn. Let's go ahead and Hobgoblin into DC here. You want a Jubilee into Odin. Is Jubilee better than Captain Marvel this turn? She might be. We just Jubilee mid. Of 1 extra mana, so Sunspot's gonna go up to 2, increasing our lead here to 10. It's a solid high roll. Okay, there's a swarm. You just drop Magneto left and call it a day, right? This is a spot where, again, I think we're far enough ahead that if I snap, they concede, but they might limp in for one more cube. I think snapping's pretty wrong here. Hobgoblin is pretty good against these decks that swarm the board. Hobgoblin works along with Widow's Bite as well, where it just, like, gums up their board space nicely. So we're up 20 in the middle, and we're going to be up plus 12. 14 will be up 20 on the left as well. Shang-Chi hoses us off a little bit here, but other than Shang-Chi, I think we feel pretty good. And these 1-drop, 2-drop discard swarm decks usually don't play Shang-Chi, so I don't think that's a card we even think about playing around. I don't usually have room to play interactive bits like that. Yeah, good stuff here. Clean.
Victory.
Someone asked if I've tried Professor X in this deck. Professor X might be my least favorite card in Marvel Snap. It is a design that basically always leaves someone feeling like they got cheesed. Like, after Professor X flips up, I feel like someone is always pissed off. Like, either you put it down at a location that they didn't play to that turn and they feel like they got, or you played it down and they also played to that location and you feel like you got yourself. It feels like a high RNG card that almost always loses someone the game. Sometimes it loses your opponent the game, sometimes it loses you the game, but someone's always annoyed and probably lost after it happens. So I prefer not to play it. Jode, thank you for the 32 months. Welcome back. Slow. As someone who was always really bad at winning tournaments, I feel you on the second place. Feel you on the second place. High risk, high reward. High variance is what I would describe it as. We're gonna try and set up Black Widow into wave for the combo in the center in case we pull off Odin. And hey, there's the Odin here. So again, the combo is Black Widow creates this Widow's Bite that they have to play out. And then Wave says, hey, all your cards cost 4 next turn. And then Odin re-triggers our on-reveal effects, which means that we're going to get to both give them a Widow's Bite next turn and make all their cards cost 4, locking them out of drawing for a turn. Okay, that doesn't matter because we're past turn 3. So let's just Odin here into the Murder World in the center. One of the other things that's kind of neat synergy in this deck is Wave gives us a lot of certainty alongside Hobgoblin, because Hobgoblin has some inherent risk where, okay, if your opponent fills the spot, you get kind of hosed, but with Wave's trigger, I know that my opponent can only deploy 1 card this turn, so I know this Hobgoblin's gonna flip over into Hala successfully here. And then it looks like we're probably playing to win Hala plus Murder World. Although maybe we're giving Murder World up with them having Strong Guy here. You want to play it to gum mid? Yeah, I can see that, I suppose. Is this a play Captain Marvel and assume she wins one of the 3 lanes for us? Because if they have Chavez plus Swarms here, it's kind of hard to guess where they're going to deploy. I think Captain Marvel's our best shot to get the W here. Her flexibility. Oh, we're gonna be just short of Captain Marvel winning mid. Are they not playing Chavez? That's so weird. Oh, they only had 3 cards in their hand. Oh, I could have known they had Widows. Oh, they couldn't draw because they hadn't Widows bited yet. Oh, I'm so dumb. I was thinking they had Chavez. You're right, this does stop that. Yeah. Knowing that they couldn't have Chavez, I definitely should have played Magneto. We knew exactly what cards were in their hand there. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good to know. And honestly, that's something this game does need to add, and it is in beta, so hopefully they add it at some point. I should be able to look at and see what known information is in my opponent's hand. Because if I'm mentally tracking it, we know that their hand is Widow, Bite, Swarm there, because we saw them discard the Swarm, and we knew they hadn't played the other Widow's Bite yet. So I lost track of it, because we're talking and doing 3 things at once here, but the game should be letting us see known information without having to mentally track it or track it on a pencil and paper or something. Yeah, getting to see what cards you know in your opponent's hands have them revealed should ideally be happening. Half the row, thank you for the almost 2.5 years. I appreciate the 29 months. Welcome back. You don't want them too much info on the screen. You could click it and have it appear though. Like you don't have to have it up constantly, but when I click on their portrait to see information about them, they could very easily put cards I know in their hand at the bottom of that pop-up of information. Yeah, I don't think there's room for it to clutter the screen constantly, but it could easily be in the pop-out there. What's going on, Silvestro? This game hits all the right things in a really fantastic way. It's really good in a way no other card game I've touched in a long time is good. Thanks for the 19 months. Welcome back. This is technically in closed beta right now, but if you do a Google search, you can sidestep your way into it quite easily. All right, so I think we start with just like Sunspot into, I think we're supposed to Sunspot into the random because X Mansion could be a location that we're technically losing, but just don't know it yet. So I like edging not playing into the mansion when we start. Hunting Vets is interesting. I don't think I mind playing Black Widow there. I do not expect them to announce an open beta for this game until after Nexus events are ready. However long that takes them.
Enough said, bub.
All right, X Mansion RNG says 4 power for them. I mean, at least we flipped up second there, glass half full. Oh, did we just get ourselves into trouble? We just got ourselves into trouble, chat. Oof. Are we giving the bot a cube? I think we're giving the bot a cube. They haven't snapped, so I'm gonna go ahead and just play Hobgoblin here, and then they played 2, so we are giving the bot a cube. Enjoy. So, before they capped boosters, I actually think the progression system was probably pretty reasonable in Marvel Snap, even without whatever the Nexus events are gonna be. I think their progression system does a lot to appeal to more casual players, and I also think that the mechanics of getting to upgrade the cards you play a lot and make them feel unique and special is like really something card game players enjoy. You see a lot of it in like Magic especially. People pay a lot of money to make their decks fancy. How much money I've spent to get the collection level I'm at. I can do one slightly better than that. If you check out my Snap YouTube channel, I have a video there that highlights the math of how long it takes to get everything in Marvel Snap. All right, and then I think we just leader here, right? Just copy up whatever they do. Ooh, we have their Dracula, and we have Infinite in hand here. So this might actually be okay for us. We have to play Magneto into the Avengers compound. The discard collector deck is really interesting. They have 2 cards in hand and they hit Apocalypse twice. It's a pretty good beat. All right, so what's left in my deck? I have an Odin. I have a Captain Marvel. I have a Hobgoblin. I have I know Black Widow's out. So most of my hits for Jubilee are good here, right? It's Odin, Captain Marvel, and Hobgoblin. Yeah, they're all good. So I think I actually just play Jubilee here. So that way my Dracula is getting Infinite or Chavez. And I think I'm going to snap. I think we're a favorite to win here. Okay, so we lost left, but we won. No, the collector put it back in their hand? What a tilt. I forgot that Odin was gonna trigger leader. I forgot that Odin was, and then we lost our Dracula. Yeah, so we lost the 50%er there, basically, right? Because if we would have discarded our Chavez instead of our Infinite, our Dracula would have been 20 as well, and we would have been 36 here to 36, and then we would have won the tiebreaker because they were only up 1 here. The fact that Apocalypse went back to their hand for Collector won them the game at the end. Close. I'm happy with my decisions that game. I think I'd make them all again. Yeah, we lost every 50-50 discard that game. Actually everyone. And our opponent won all their 50-50 discards. They hit Apocalypse every time they did a 50-50. Sometimes it do be like that. Well, this could be hollow, which is kind of scary. Doruid, thank you for the 23 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. I pressed the end button, right? Damn. So sometimes I forget to press the end turn button. Shit. Have a Widow's Bite. Strong Guy's potentially concerning. All right, so this is either going to be Danger Room or Hala. Either are kind of a little scary, honestly. Shit, they should have saved the Widow's Bite. They could have Nakia'd it. Okay, and now we just Magneto mid and we snap, right? Honestly, they can only play 1 card. There's no way we lose mid with Magneto against their deck here, I don't think. We'll get to pull Nakia in as well just to clear her out. Wow, I can't believe they called the double up. Sure, I guess. I mean, you got that one. Goodbye, friends. Yeah. I think calling that double up against my deck is pretty wrong. The Noblest Men, thank you for the brand new Prime. There's a lot of great people that make a lot of great stuff on Twitch every month, and thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Snap's been a ton of fun, and I would love to make it a bigger part of my content. I appreciate the support towards it. Yeah, wave into leaders, not bad here. The fact that boosters are now limited makes the fact that boosters happen at random feel much, much worse. I definitely agree with that. Previously boosters being random was like fine, it wasn't a big deal, but the fact that they added a variance element to it makes it feel really bad. All right, we just like Hobgoblin left to likely lock that up. There's some risk to playing leader into their deck. Their deck also is likely one that spams its hand on the last turn, so leadering on turn 6 has some value from that perspective, I think. So it feels like we're currently playing for left plus right while punting the center. A Captain Marvel here, and then Chavez right with Marvel to flex probably wins us the game, I think.
Oh, snap.
A snap here. Depending on what they do, it might also be right to leader on the last turn. We'll see. Like if they play mid this turn, leaving nothing over here, they might be looking to spam here on the last turn. Hell Cow. Yeah, you Ghost Rider that rock, friendo. Subterraneo was not kind to our opponent, Chip.
Higher, further, faster, baby.
Victory.
Her little animation when she wins the game is great. I don't know. I think it's weird. I think it's weird to complain about matchmaking in a game that's currently in closed beta and has a limited player base because it's in closed beta. So I think any symptoms or issues due to a low player base in matchmaking are essentially a non-issue because there just aren't players. I think it's ever worth it to do nothing for Infinite. Not usually. Infinite in here is mostly to high roll with things like Chavez. Or did I say Chavez? I meant Jubilee. Limbo is a great location for our deck. In fact, I think Limbo is good enough for us that I snap when that flips up. So I think with them being Nakia and doing nothing so far, I kind of want to hold on to Odin for turn 6 when they're getting ready to spam their handout on turn 7. Iron Man with 2 power into Hala is such a bold-faced gamble. Oh, I should sunspot somewhere probably. Get an extra free roll. That's gonna really go poorly for them here. Multiple cards into the danger room is bold. The cameras decided Rowlet needs attention. It would appear that way. Okay, so they have 5 cards in hand. I think we just Odin, right? Into Limbo to make wave happen. Of course, they're already kind of losing here. There could be merit to just leadering. I guess I could Odin mid. And Odin mid would trigger Jubilee, and then I probably win mid. Because it feels like they're playing for Hala plus Danger Room right now, right? It could be right to Odin wave. I wonder if this is a Scarlet Witch getting ready to turn Limbo off. Maybe hoping to end the game this turn? No? Okay. So, if we Magneto here, it potentially pulls these over. It feels like they're gonna slide Nightcrawler and then make another play here for Nakia. So this is kind of a coin flip turn because this grabs random 3s and 4s. So I'm hoping we grab Bishop instead of Nakia and pull him here, and then we win Limbo. I think I stay in for a coin flip towards winning the game here. Although I guess whatever they're gonna play out of their hand, it might not be big as Nightcrawler, so maybe it's not even a coin flip. I'm not playing out a second card from my hand with my last 2 resources because Electra says I can't, for those wondering. Like, I think at worst we're 50-50 to win this, and at best we're a sure thing. They only have 1 card here. We lost that coin flip. I think we're good though. Is that good? All right, pulling Nakia out was good enough.
Victory.
That was clean. So Magneto was 50 to grab Bishop and 50 to grab Nakia, and pulling Nakia was just enough. Because if we tied here, we were losing this tiebreaker by a lot. Thanks to Iron Man. So God bless. All right, let's change things up. I was thinking about, so I've been trying to, I really like the idea of the movement deck, but I've been trying to figure out how to solve some of the problems it has. And I think splashing the destroy cards might help it a lot. So one of the issues with this deck is it gets hosed by a bunch of different locations, and like, the one that makes the 2 dinosaurs Savage Lands, as well as the one that makes the negative power Ninja, are like the worst for you because they gum up the board. So Killmonger and Carnage both let us clear out those location units, and we can then play Nova as a way to power up our stuff. So I think I want to give this a try. It might still be bad, but it feels like Killmonger and Carnage at least like attempt to solve some of the problems that the deck has with location variants. Hey, Gap, thanks for the 44 months. Welcome back. Approaching 4 years or the free-to-play time to get all of the cards in Snap. I don't know that it'll be that slow. I need to do the long-term calculation. I start adding 4 or 5 cards a month. It's probably close to 1.5 to 2 years. Hey, Twisted. Well, thanks for dropping by a live one. Happy Sunday. Hope your weekend's going well. All right, Nova Killmonger to start. I'm gonna go ahead and slide Nova over here. We're gonna blow it up at some point, so it's fine if it ends up in a location where we don't want it to be. Strange, they lost Angela. Iron Fist here for now. You'll always be behind free to play. That's actually not true. I'm going to give you a 10-minute timeout because that's long enough to go watch the how long does it take to get every card in Marvel Snap video that I have published. With the current system, you earn approximately 6.8 cards per month at the top level, completely free to play. which means if they start releasing 5 cards a month, you will still slowly but surely eventually collect everything. I don't really have anywhere good to move Dagger. I think I might just end turn here and not spend my mana. So Dagger gets +2 power for each card at the location she flips up at. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and Dagger, and then honestly, I think I might Cloak into the Onslaught Citadel for the chance to move things here. Although maybe we Cloak into the Sewer, but they're pretty unlikely to play into the Sewer, right? I want to play Cloak in a location where they're likely to play stuff, since Daggers are movement payoff, but maybe I'm just supposed to play Forge this turn instead. Yeah, let's just do that. We can Cloak next turn. Well, that's a little unfortunate. Okay, so we Cloak into Killmonger here, and then nobody's winning Klin, and the question is going to be, can we win Onslaught Citadel? Actually, I want to Killmonger into the oh, I can move into the Citadel with Cloak. Yeah. We probably lost this. Because I assume even if we can win one of these locations, we're going to lose on tiebreakers. Okay, them playing out a bunch of 1-drops before we Killmonger is... okay, we have a chance, chat. I'm saying there's a chance. So long, friends. And then Nova gives everything +1 here. All right, I mean, that's our play. We could definitely still lose here. They discarded a Swarm, so their hand's probably Swarm Chavez. And their Swarm's 5, so they could add 20 power to the board here. Dagger's gonna go up to... Okay, Dagger went up to 8 there. We're gonna lose the tiebreaker though, right? Yeah, because we're only... The tiebreaker, when each player wins one location, there's a tie on the third, is total power. So we're up 5 here, but they're up 13 here. Our hand was a little mediocre that game, and we still got close. We really need a multiple man or a Vulture early. Dagger's definitely the weakest of our 3 movement payoffs, so... She ended up 8 power there, which was, like, fine, but she's just less impressive than the others for sure. I'm fine playing Nova early. People aren't really playing armor or anti-destroy cards anymore, so when this deck was like the meta thing, playing it early was often wrong, but I think it's fine to do so now. Maybe I'm just supposed to Carnage as a 2-power 2-drop because I have Killmonger for the Nova later. I agree that Dagger is generally worse than Human Torch, but you hit the nail on the head because I'm trying to play Killmonger to play with Nova. I can't realistically play Human Torch in this build. Well, that's super unfortunate. Okay, we redrew Vulture at least here. And then next turn we get to Strange plus Dagger into Heimdall. So I think we're actually in a pretty okay spot, right? Definitely staying in through the snap. Huh. So would I rather Strange or Killmonger this turn? I think I'd rather Killmonger, right? I think I want to, like, Dagger plus Killmonger, and then we can Heimdall slide everything down like this, I think is where I want to go. So they're stacking up for a big left side. I think that's okay for us though, right? We Heimdall here, and then this slides down and gains 5 power, so it goes up to 14. Okay, I think we're good here. Because Dagger is going up to at least 4 in the center, so we'll have at least 8 here. Would we have lost if they Blue Marveled on the right?
Victory.
They Blue Marvel on the right. That would have been +4, +3, +2. +4 +2 is 9? No, we still would have been fine. Okay. That's a neat idea, Twisted. Let Heimdall control which direction it pushes things in, depending on if you play on the left or right side. It's a really neat thought. Because they very clearly don't want you to have to, like, make choices on the UI, so they gave it just left by default, but letting it control that is neat. And hey, look, it's that location that's normally very bad for this deck, but Killmonger gets to clean it out, which is nice. Aragorn, thank you for the 33 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Dagger mid. So we can Nova plus Iron Fist here. And then Iron Fist will punch Vulture to the left. I don't want to lose Hala if I can avoid it. I want to lose my dagger. Alright, Collector Morbius. So they're definitely the Swarm deck. And then they're about to empty their hand, right? Because Mindscape's about to happen. So I gotta decide, how do I want to clean up the board this turn? I guess Forge into Killmonger, right? And they get Carnage Hulkbuster. I guess this doesn't set us up very well to... Maybe I'm supposed to play these right, so if we draw Heimdall on the last turn, we can slide them left. Okay, so their hand is just empty. I'll stay in for 1 cube, because they're most likely to play into the Savage Land, right? I guess I could play into Hala. Yeah, I guess maybe they're more likely to play into Hala, and then we're just torched. Yeah, allied. I'm not gonna stand for a cube. I think we're dead.
Escaped.
Yeah, when they told us they were giving us buffs in this patch, I was actually a little surprised they didn't buff some more of the non-Creven stuff in this deck. Well, if I don't play the Killmonger Twisted, I'm giving the Killmonger to them. So that seems like a bad play. Because the mind switch card at the end there. So now's the question, do I even want to play Dagger? Or would I rather save the Iron Fist kickover for Vulture? I'd rather save it for Vulture.
This land can never be fully known.
Okay, that's kind of funny. So we'll Vulture here and kick this left. Yeah, they're just destroying their own deck. Well, that seems pretty good. The fact that we're playing Killmonger is about to be absurd here, huh? Oh, they're also playing Killmonger. I was like, what is this? It's a Killmonger as well, and theirs is one more power, so I guess we'll play theirs. And then we'll play Death into Atlantis here. I'm gonna snap here before this Killmonger flips up. Yeah, that's good retreat. What's going on, Thought Knots? Thanks for the 59 months. Welcome back. I appreciate the almost 5 years. It's a sweet Killmonger variant for sure. You've drawn a multiple man shit. It's exciting. Ooh, and multiple man into Murray Isle with Doctor Strange to pull it right is also kind of fun. And a cloak? Okay. Our hand's actually really good now, huh? He says before realizing that Alatan is in play. That's unfortunate. I'm still... Nah, I don't think I can snap with this location up. Especially because they're going to draw into their Okoye cards here. It's not great for us. Gosh! Why we gotta reshuffle our hand here, chat? It would be so good if we could Hulkbuster this first. Okay, the Nakia before Atalan is not great for them, so we got that going for us. Okay, that's a cloak. That's good. So we definitely want a cloak. I think I'm Novaing and Iron Fisting. We'll see what we draw next turn. Christy was definitely a fan of the booster limit. She enjoyed that mechanic. So there's actually a question of, do I play Iron Fist and Nova out here? Because that's worse if I draw a Heimdall at the end, because I'm going to put 2 multiple men into here and could slide them down. Yeah, I'm actually going to put these over here. Although I don't know that we can win with them just getting constant pumps on Murray Isle here too. It's definitely a thing to consider. See what we draw, but I think we're pretty torched this game. And it says, we're gonna play like maybe 1 or 2 more at this, but I think we're probably gonna switch off of it. I'm not sure this archetype is capable of generating enough power to keep up with the Nakia Okoye decks. Honestly, I would bet there's a world where Nakia gets the Okoye treatment and they cut her mana cost and cut how much power she gives. She just adds so much power. Yeah, the payoffs for the movement deck feel like they're hard to execute and just kind of weak overall. Like, even if I drew Heimdall here, I'm still just behind in every lane, right? I guess except for center. Well, so like, your best draws, and part of the problem is that like, your best draws involve multiple men, but even your multiple men draws don't always win, and you don't always have multiple men, right? Yeah, a Killmonger might have gotten us out of it there because it would have triggered our Nova and it would have killed some of their ones. It's definitely true. It might have been our one saving grace. Hey, look, so they're one of those cases that's like not great for us to start, but the fact that we've got Carnage and Killmonger potentially could clean this out. Okay, Dagger's gonna be 5 power on turn 2 here, which is not terrible. Then we've got Doctor Strange to move her around potentially. Yes, most of the cards pushing everything to the left also gives you some limited functionality as well. Do I just Doctor Strange Dagger into here, and then next turn we could go Nova Killmonger, pump everything here? Yeah, I think we do this when we snap. This is gonna go to at least 7. If they play more stuff out here, she'll get even bigger. Yes, she's going to 9 now. The face down cards don't count as cards I have there? Are you serious? That can't possibly be working as intended, right? Killmonger helps them left. This adds more power to the board? I guess that's not strictly true. Yeah, maybe Carnage is better. Oh, I guess Killmonger kills my Iron Fist too. It also kills their Quinjet, though. Maybe you're right. My body is ready to lose this location by 2 power from Dagger not getting it from Bishop. All right. Yep. All right, I'm done with this deck. Over it. If we would have Carnaged, we would have won this, right? Because Iron Man would have stayed there too. But also, I just don't think this is playable as a payoff if she doesn't count face down cards. Like, the fact that this doesn't count cards that are face down, I mean, like, this already struggles to feel like a playable movement payoff, and not counting face down cards means it's just trash. Let's do something else. Yeah, not counting cards that haven't flipped on Dagger is bad design in my opinion. Before you even consider the power level considerations of it, I really don't like it from a design perspective. All right, let's try some domino, huh? Yes, the Guardians of the Galaxies count face down cards. That would make me think that Dagger should count them too. Alternative game mode. I don't really do casual game modes in card games a lot of the time. I'm pretty happy with just a ranked ladder. I guess a tournament format would be something I would like to see, where you play like best of X or first to X cubes. That could be considered alternate game mode, I guess. More competitive stuff would be my forte. I'm actually not a huge fan of multi-deck formats. I think multi-deck formats are pretty inaccessible from a they require you to have lots of cards standpoint. So in general, I don't like them. You're playing against a bot.
What are the odds?
Sage. We'll take 2 dominoes here. Sinister London's pretty good into our deck of just like a lot of high quality cards. The other problem with multiple deck game modes is not only does multiple deck require you to have access to multiple good decks, but it's just not fun for people who want to like a deck and play it a bunch. Like, if I have a deck I love playing, like, don't make me wait to... I think I'm actually gonna Killmonger left, so I can put other big things into Sinister London. There's Quake's utility in this deck. It switches locations around. I don't know if this card's good. It just seems like an interesting disruptive element. There's like almost assuredly games we will win because Quake shuffled things around, right? Is like the TLDR. I think I'll take 2 Jubilees. Well, leading on our Killmonger when they have Khazar is a little bit sad. All right, Doc Ock, bring us some friends. They can slide vision in theory, but then that drops them down to... Oh, and we have 2 more turns because of Limbo, right? So I can theoretically get up to 15, 21 power here. Okay, yeah, and then they did nothing because they could make their last play on the final turn. So now I pulled Khazar over, and now Captain Marvel guarantees wins, right? Sweet.
Oh, snap.
Good stuff.
Victory.
Doc Ock getting to fill up the left side there, so they couldn't finish Angela was nice. Meaningful disruption.
Always lucky.
Opponent snapped. Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. All in. Ship it. And there's a turn 7 this game. Do we just Doc Ock into the Superflow? I think we just Doc Ock into the Superflow, right? They're probably playing the deck with a bunch of discard cards in it. This probably disrupts them a ton. I think I like Doc Ock into Superflow. No, against the Hellcow deck, I think Doc Ock is great. Yeah, like, look at this. That was awesome, right? Like, yeah, side me up. Okay, so what are we doing this turn? Just like Chavez into mid? I think we Captain Marvel, and then we Storm Killmonger next turn, right? Right? We already snapped. We already snapped. Yeah, GG.
Wind, aid my hand.
And then...
Defeat.
Oh my god, Captain Marvel's bugged! No! Captain Marvel's bugged! She's bugged when you get rid of Limbo. Oh no. Oh no. That's 100% a bug. All right, we're gonna submit the bug report, but that's fine. We won that game. I don't care about the cubes. We won that game. Oh, we would lose mid. Oh, you're right. Shit. Did we fuck that up then? No, you're right. Okay, so I needed to Killmonger right. We lose. It's not bugged. I needed to Killmonger right. I fucked that up. My deck could have won. So if we Killmonger right, we guaranteed to win. Because they still have a card in hand, and then this beats this. Okay, yeah. Quick maths. Right? Because then we can lose mid and Captain Marvel jumps here. I didn't think it mattered, but it did. Got it. Okay. That's fine. Doc Ock was still really good there. If I play correctly, Doc Ock wins that game. Hey, shake it off, chat. Shake it off.
Right on
All right,
time.
Domino is not going into Atlantis, so let's put her into this unknown location to the right. Hopefully we can count on Captain Marvel winning the Sanctatorium here. Captain Marvel says after the final turn. FYI.
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna snap on that, and we'll Jubilee into Hala here.
Enough said, bub.
That doesn't matter because we have Captain Marvel to slide over. We are playing against a bot, correct. Black and white art currently means you're playing against a bot because you can't actually get this card as a real person.
Opponent snapped.
So Magneto here is 17, but they're going to 18 because of this, right? So we actually are losing middle. I think if we're losing middle regardless, we want to Killmonger, right? To take Agent 13 and Scarlet Witch off the table. Because taking Scarlet Witch off the table makes us more likely to win, right? Yeah, but Shang-Chi doesn't win mid either. It kills Strongman, and then Shang-Chi will be 8, and we lose to Crystal Morbius Agent 13. That's fine. I think we win this with Killmonger, and then this is Captain Marvel moving left.
Higher, further, faster, baby.
I'm exhausted after my round trip to the Philippines. God bless. It was worth it to buy the season pass, though. Wave is excellent. They do not, Birthing Potter. Alright, it didn't hit my wave. So we can still do her on turn 3. We have Domino turn 2. Lovely. Welcome to the embassy, friends. How is my collection level so freaking huge? That's what the ladies always ask me. How is his collection level so freaking huge? All right, so wave into Magneto on Hala should clear out the Angela here.
Assemble.
Oh my god, did we just get torched by a Warpath, chat? I almost snapped there. All right. We can run away on that one. Run away! Chat, my collection level is so high because I spend the most amount of money they will allow me to spend every single day on this game. However, the booster limit has recently hamstrung me here. I currently have 3,500 credits. I literally just can't spend currently. So today, you can actually only have 5,000 credits stored up at a time. So tonight is actually the first day I'm not going to be able to spend money on credits because I'm just capped out. Yeah, they basically implemented the cap specifically for me and people like me. It's bad for minnows too, but it's extra bad for whales. The
Right on time.
The fast upgrade is such an incredibly inefficient use of resources that even I refuse to do it. It's just so bad. Without fast upgrades, it was already costing $550 a month to max out spending, and it was still gonna have to spend that way for like 2.5 months to max out my collection. And I refuse to spend more. The fast upgrades will make it cost more and take longer, and I refuse to do that. If $550 a month was a bullet I was willing to bite to dive into content for this game, more than $550 per month is not a number I am willing to spend. All right, so Juggernaut means we're gonna get to win Hala here, which is fun. Although I guess with just Nakia, they don't care. Okay, so I actually want to wave this turn, right? Because they're going to want to vomit their hand on turn 5 thanks to Mindscape, but I want to stop them from doing so. I think is the plan.
Wind, aid my hand.
To be incredibly blunt, if they weren't expecting the differential that they had between free-to-play and whale players, the people designing and managing the economy for Marvel Snap are fucking awful at their jobs. They 100% expected it. You can sit, the economies are designed to make it, the economies are designed knowing the numbers going in. I'm just gonna ban you. I don't really need you in my chat. That's such a nonsensical take. That's such a nonsense take. All right, so I get to go Juggernaut, Killmonger here, and then we win the game. I think is most likely. My children play Fall Guys. We installed Fall Guys on our Nintendo Switches, and then Epic Games has their client bugged, and you can't play with friends on the Switch currently. So we haven't actually gotten to play yet because we can't play together. Declan's played like a couple of solo games on his own, but I think they'd have more fun if we could all do it together. It always like it's crazy how many people don't understand what goes into mobile games like this. Like there are literally people who their only job is being an economist for mobile games like this to figure out how to maximize extracting revenue for people. We're gonna lose mid here. We might lose mid, I guess. Mojo. Yeah, we lose mid, right? Because if Captain Marvel moves mid, she triggers Mojo and they get +6. Also, the idea that Wales being ahead of free-to-play players at the start is a problem. It means that the economy is fundamentally broken from the start, because once people have been playing for 6 months, they're going to be ahead of anybody new coming in. So you have to design the economy with the idea from the start that you're going to have players significantly ahead of others and have to have it so that's okay. So like, that's a consideration they have to have from the start. They have to be like, okay, this is a thing that's happening. When does the new season start? I believe it's tomorrow at 8 p.m. PST. We're gonna leave Karmatage open because I want a double Jubilee there. I don't even know if the people who want to be competitive will have to spend money is true. I think I want to hide Killmonger for the end of the game. Put him in the Dark Dimension. The key thing here is, in order for a game like this, for its economy to really work, they need to have it so there's just good card balance, right? Like, if pool 1 and 2 decks can be competitive against pool 3 decks, it doesn't really matter from a competitive integrity perspective. Hey, we don't have access to all the cards you do. Okay, that's a pretty big wolf spoon, but it technically was played out of order. And the Spider-Woman is a little bit backbreaking. Although I guess we're technically winning Karmatage, right? Because this is a Rocket Raccoon and Killmonger's about to flip up. Right? Let's get Captain Marvel in the mid so she can chill somewhere after the fact. Okay, so they're gonna have a total of 9 power on the left, and I'm gonna have 3. So if I play Juggernaut and Wave here, we tie left and we're winning right, or we're winning center. And actually, we're winning center without Captain Marvel once Rocket Raccoon goes away, which means that Wave can actually, or Captain Marvel can jump over here to the left to win the left path for us. So this is a guaranteed win, so we'll snap. Yeah, and that is the desired experience, I think, Beetle. It shouldn't be that you feel like you can't win because you don't have pull 3 cards, but it should inspire a, oh, that's neat, I wish I could do that.
Victory.
I actually don't think that's true, Dirty Deeds. I think the getting cards to get a, like, you can't just spend and be competitive instantly in this game like other card games. So like, you'll progress faster if you spend, but this is one of the first non-Runeterra games where you could realistically have everything just free to playing, because there aren't like these big card pool drops, right? Just chill for now. +1 energy this turn. All right, so it's a turn 3, or turn 2 Jubilee.
Always lucky.
That's funny. How big of a gamble is it if we domino Quake here and then try and Doc Ock to blow their stuff up next turn? That's certainly the content play, right? They haven't played anything yet? This is gotta be a Nakia turn, right? It feels like they're playing the Storm deck. I'm gonna snap into the content play too. My body is ready to get rinsed off, chat. Watch us pull like a bunch of 6-drops into play here. It's a hot summer, chat. We're ready to get rinsed. Hala is frustrating? Nah, I think Hala's fine. It's a very reasonable location. They played their entire hand this turn? Excuse me? And they played into Hala. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, someone's getting rinsed off, but it is not us, Chip.
Victory.
So long, bud. Pinch. We pinch. They technically haven't confirmed how new cards will be added yet, but I would guess that new card additions will just be added to pool 3. But we don't know that for certainty. They have not communicated that yet. Their card release plans are that we're going to get 1 new season pass card per month, and that they're going to release 1 card per week eventually. But they haven't said exactly how the 1 card per week eventually and other things like that are going to play out exactly.
What are the odds?
Well, we have Killmonger into Sunspot, so that's nice. I think I'm gonna snap here because I also have Storm into Juggernaut for the Onslaught Citadel for kind of the 1-2 lock this location up. So Storm will flood the Citadel, and then next turn Juggernaut or say, hey, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. You get to play nothing here.
My hand.
So anything they could play here to try and win this location is gonna get punted over to here. And there's a Shang-Chi for Monster Isle as well. Everything is coming up, Millhouse. I would be surprised if they add cards further apart than they already have them. Because the current Again, if you haven't seen my video on the math, the current length between cards at the end means free to play, you collect about 6.8 cards per month, which is a pretty good number of cards to allow people to eventually collect everything. I think I Killmonger this turn, which does put a little bit of our hand face up, but it sets us up to go Doc Ock into Shang-Chi on the right.
Victory.
In case Doc Ock pulls in something big. They've had enough. Okay. Got it. No early plays here to start, but we do guaranteed have that domino on turn 3, obviously.
Always
Or turn
lucky.
2, sorry, math, numbers, etc. Good old rock. Nothing beats rock, chat. What do we think of Jubilee into Hala? Maybe? Like, the question is, what do I want to do with this Doc Ock? Where do we want to deploy him? Strong guy into Xandar makes me think I should punt Xandar. I kinda wanna Jubilee into Doc Ock mid and go from there. We'll see what they do here. My body is ready for Jubilee to hit a third rock. That would be, how you say, less than great for us. Okay, found our Chavez. Okay, and Angela, you know, is one of the cards that Doc Ock is pretty meaningfully disruptive against. If they don't play out all 3 here, Doc Ock's gonna fill this and they won't be able to play cards after her. They could play 3 cheap cards here and get us into a little bit of trouble. We'll see. They have 4 cards in hand. It takes new players about 1 month to clear both Pool 1 and Pool 2 glitch. I think that's almost assuredly by design. So we're playing towards winning Subterranea and Hala, I think, here. Yeah, that's true, too. If they play just 3 cheap cards, we also just, like, played 10 power for 5 mana, which is decent. Nah, I don't think that's true, Endless Spike. My rock! Well, at least they also drew as many rocks as we did. Do we think they're gonna play left or right? They're conceding. Okay. I think the play was Shang-Chi plus Rock, right? But it could have also been Magneto to the left. Getting to force their Hell Cow mid was meaningful there again. Just like, okay, this is your last card, and it doesn't win this path, but it means we take it away. They played the top right. Yep. Bottom left here in this game, Steve. Hey, Steve, are you around this afternoon? Like an hour? Christy and I are going to play some Pokemon Unite in about an hour.
Right on time.
We'll domino this path, I think. Huh. Quake the Hala could end up kind of funny. It could end up really bad too, but it could also end up really funny. Okay, I think it going mid with the Jubilee here is pretty good for us, most likely, right? He says before Jubileeing into something bad. That should be good for us, right? Oh no! Oh, get Mojo, chat. Big oof. Big oof. No, this could be okay, right? What if I Shang-Chi left, and then we have a shot with Magneto, right? Am I willing to stay in for 8 cubes, though, is the question. Because we can get out for 2 right now. We currently get out for just 2 cubes. I think we're supposed to get out for 2.
Escaped.
I was feeling good when our Chavez flipped up, too. The pride cometh before the fall. We're infinite, so the cubes don't really matter, but I feel like I need to help encourage people to make good decisions. You should be retreating more than you probably are, chat.
Always lucky.
Domino into Juggernaut into Jubilee probably wins Hala, right? You mean infinite? It's like the equivalent of Mythic in this game. All right, so we know that's a 3-drop because Sunspot didn't flip up. And it looks like we didn't quite need all of this, but that's fine. All right, we have 1 Hala super hard. And the question is, can we win another location? I think we just Doc Ock the mid, right? And then we can potentially Shang-Chi them next turn if they get a big one in there. That's unfortunate. Their cards are like just too small to do anything to. I think we do this, right? Because if they play anything huge here, we get them. Wow, they didn't play Apocalypse. That's tilt. I guess this was more power technically, right? Shang-Chi could be a really awkward card. I'm actually not sure if that card's generically playable in this game. There's a lot of these kind of swarm decks have a lot of cards that float in like that 7 to 8 power range that he just like completely whiffs on. Shane killed 7, would he be too good? Yeah, way too good. Would kill, but yeah, just instant play and everything.
Right on time.
As of right now, Shang definitely feels like a meta gamey card. Like, what does the format look like? If yes or no, do I want to play it? And I think I probably am erring on the side of no. I don't want to play it. Just gonna Storm Hala. I don't really have anything else to do here.
Aid my hand.
What's up the range to any deck in particular? Yeah, Sarah's Storm as well as the Beast Falcon bounce deck are the two things I use to climb from 60 to infinite. The Sarah Storm deck had a highlight up on the Snap YouTube channel a couple days ago, and I'm gonna have an updated video on the latest build of the Beast Falcon deck going up tomorrow as a highlight. Papa! Pulling people's Hell Cows into play ahead of curve has felt really good. Just like, and for my next trick... Okay, and then we just Jubilee here, grab the Chavez. And then we can Magneto. I guess Jubilee, if I Jubilee Chavez, it assumes that they can have a Chavez around. It depends on what this is going to be, right? And a Kia. So does that do it? Yeah, Nakia buff nothing. Do I lose the tiebreaker here? I lose the tiebreaker here, right? I'm assuming their last card is Chavez. Because usually the Hellcow deck plays Chavez. Chavez would go here. They'd have 19-2. I'll have 14-2, so we lose by 5. And I unfortunately can't Shang-Chi plus another. What if I Magneto? If I Magneto, they go to 12... 19 here, and I go to 22. And then that actually ties the game, right? Magneto ties Flooded. Wait, that wins it? Good shit. Okay, so we would have drawn. If they hadn't moved Nightcrawler, we would have drawn because we would have been 23-20, 16-13, and 2-2. But because they moved Nightcrawler, we win Flooded, and then because Bishop gets sucked over to here. That's great. Good stuff. Solid beats. We take those. Swap the position of each location, sure.
What are the odds?
What are the odds indeed? Approximately 100% that this person is a bot. I'll flood the Citadel here, and then Jubilee next turn means we probably lock it up if she hits Chavez.
Wind, aid my hand.
This could also be a... Do we Jubilee mid and then plan to Captain Marvel into the flooded zone to win? We could do that too. They do not currently list artists in game. It's something they plan to add at some point. Okay, so then we Captain Marvel to win flooded, and then we Magneto mid. I think we're in a pretty good spot here. You still want to play United one? Cool. I think we might have Stevie's to let me know. Pulling Deathlock into the mid might mess us up. No, we're good.
Higher,
Man.
faster, baby.
She takes flight and wins us the flood area. Lovely.
Victory.
Right on time.
Losing Chavez is good to note for if we Jubilee down the line. I think I'm gonna storm into Juggernaut in the Metropolis here.
Wind, aid my hand.
I guess that actually ties us here, but I'm kind of committed at this point, I think. That does not tie us there. It means we're behind. Okay, so we kind of need a Captain Marvel then.
Opponent snapped.
How do we feel about Doc Ock middle and pull a bunch of poopers into the negative zone? I think I'm into it.
Got him.
Okay, so we're tied mid. I would say we're still winning mid, but that's actually not true. We're tied now. All right, are we torched? I think we're torched.
Escaped.
Good Quake plus Shang-Chi here, but that is basically betting. That's basically betting that we're gonna win this location by 14, right? because we're tied here and they're up by 13 here. And I don't know that we're gonna win this by, we can't win it by 13, right? Because Shane Quake's only 9. Yeah, but we probably lose left in that instance, right? So like you're right that line wins mid, I think, but then we lose left. So it's not a winning line.
Always lucky.
Without a Killmonger in sight, I think we're punting Stark Tower. I think this is a Storm Juggernaut the Dream Dimension angle. To lock that up, and then we try and win right.
Wind, aid my hand.
I think we just Doc here to force their hand to fill this location because it locks them out of Chavez if they have her. Yeah, we're not playing for Stark Tower, bud.
All systems go.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet they're a Chavez deck. We just get to fill their spot up. Sick.
Victory.
Love it. Yeah, Doc Ock is one of my favorite disruptive cards in this game for sure. Really, really fun with spots like that. I got my first Infinity Split card last night, and after a day of playing it, I got 0 boosters before the cap. Yep. Yep. A quick Google search will find you instructions on how to get into the closed beta, Nicol Bolas.
What are the odds?
What are the odds indeed? Decks like what I am playing are definitely worse for farming cubes than other decks. So Juggernaut into their Invisible Woman path is actually kind of fun, huh? Because they're gonna put something here they don't want to flip up, and then we get to be like, hey, what if we did? And look, they discarded a Magneto. That's fun. It's fun. And now I get to Jubilee mid into a Chavez most likely and kill this blade. Can we take those?
Wind, aid my hand.
Okay, you know what? That could have gone worse, chat. That could have gone much, much worse. I accept the terms and conditions. I accept these terms and conditions. We're gonna Captain Marvel here. Well, we'll see. We don't get to see what they're doing. Is it worth punching Infinite? I cannot punch Infinite, chat. We had to play into the Avengers compound. I think we Magneto right and hope for the best, huh? Well, chat, if I'm staying in, I have to win left and right because we've lost mid. So, we play Magneto here, and then Captain Marvel jumps here, and we hope that 9's good enough here. We could just be getting torched by a Hela here for sure. That is definitely a possibility.
Higher, further, faster, baby.
Shout out to Captain Marvel. This is why we play bright.
Victory.
So she could soar over and trigger that Baxter building. Things worked out like that, and they did. Nice and clean. Captain Marvel, again, for those that are new and not familiar, if she can win the game after the last turn, she wins the game.
Right on time.
I think I just want to use my resources this turn. It's like, this is my 4, 5, 6 right here, so I might as well just play Killmonger as a 3 and take the Rocket Raccoon off the board. I already had a 7. Calm down.
Opponent snapped.
Just put Doc Ock mid as a stat stick. Again. Figure out if we want to Shang-Chi plus Quake or Magneto next turn. Shang-Chi looking super awkward again here. I guess if we Quake mid and Shang-Chi right, we have a decent shot. Oh, this isn't the last turn either. I'm dumb. In my brain, I mess up Limbo all the time too. This is fine for us then, right? Because we tie here and then we put this here for an extra stat stick. Yeah. Okay. And they're up 15, we're up 19.
Victory.
No, I don't want a Juggernaut because this is tied, it's coming down to tiebreakers. So I want to put the most numbers onto the board here. Big numbers go burr there. You think this deck is sweet and you haven't seen it before? That means you're not subscribed to my Snap channel on YouTube. Those are, it's been showcased up there once before. Probably have an update to it once I figure, another showcase once I figure out exactly what I want to be doing with some of the details in it. Like, I'm not sure if Quake is good. I'm pretty confident Doc Ock is good at this point. I've liked him a lot in today's session, but this has mostly just been a 2-mana, 3-power thing. I like having an extra 2-drop in addition to Domino for, like, filling the curve purposes late. Has been fine, but I don't know if I want it to be specifically Quake or something else. Storm mid. Yeah, armor could be fine. Shang-Chi's not super popular at the moment though either. The person who mentioned earlier that people seem to hit more bots once they hit infinite, I've definitely been feeling that today. This is our first day. I'm glad, what's it called? I'm glad the season's resetting, so it won't be infinite anymore, because it's definitely been more bots today once we've been in infinite. I guess this could technically hose us if it shuffles Hala here and then we're losing. I guess shuffling the Flooded to a location I'm losing isn't great either. We have 3 cards in hand. What if we pull their friends into Hala here? Doc Ock seems consistently not great into the decks that the bots play, but it seems it's been consistently pretty reasonable into decks that actual human beings are playing. Oh, it ended up being fine here. I guess shuffling the Crimson Cosmos was kind of the same as Flooded Zone against their deck full of cheap things. I don't think Black Widow's a very good 2-drop for this deck because we kind of wanted to just add stats later in the game. So the idea behind a second 2-drop other than Domino is that it can fill our curve on turn 5 or 6 when we want to go Shang-Chi plus 2-drop or 3-drop plus 2-drop on 5. So I think I want a 3 or 4 power 2-drop. I tried Kingpin and Arrow in an earlier iteration of this list, and I just don't think Kingpin Arrow is very good in general.
What are the odds?
I think Kingpin Arrow is a really sweet kind of go over the top when it works, but it's really bad into good players. It's very telegraphed and easy to play around. Oh, I actually really like the idea of Hellcow. That actually kind of sounds like gas. We could test that out. Yeah, that's just like the ultimate stat stick. Something like Cloak could be okay too for a little bit of mobility, but I kind of like the idea of just Hellcow as a stat stick.
Wind, aid my hand.
Well, I guess if I Jubilee here and she pulls Chavez, Captain Marvel can jump over and potentially still win this, even if they play more to the flooded zone. And then we can Magneto right to potentially win Hala down the line. And if they don't play into the flooded zone here and we hit Chavez, they lose the flooded zone. Well, that's super unfortunate. I'm gonna take the Gamba here on flooping whatever they play into the bar with no name with Juggernaut. This gives us a 50-50 chance to win the center location. Why didn't Quake happen there? Quake only happens when you play her in the center. So they did nothing. Are we getting Infinauted? It feels like we're getting Infinauted. So I'm just gonna Shang-Chi because we're losing. So then we lose the tiebreaker, so we should concede? Yeah.
Escape.
So if Chavez had hit here, Shang-Chi would beat Infinaut on the right. But because we hit Quake instead of Chavez, we did not. I kinda like the idea of Hellcow. I'm gonna make that swap. Quake's disruptive element has not felt particularly relevant. And Hellcow doesn't play out particularly great on 5, although I guess if you play it on 5 and Chavez is still in your deck, that's fine as well. Nah, Chavez, Jubilee hits Chavez the same amount. It's your sample sizes are bad.
Right on time.
We have Shang-Chi into Monster Isle. That's honestly, it's probably a snap, right?
Oh, snap.
We wave into Magneto probably beats Angela, right? Solid pickup here. Good play, incentivizing regular concessions doesn't make the best spectator game. Card games aren't a good spectator game to begin with. Well, that worked out pretty well for us here. So we get Magneto into here, and then we have Killmonger lined up for these down the line, potentially. Really like to draw one of our 5s here, Doc Ock or Captain Marvel for next turn, so we can Shang-Chi plus Hellcow. Well, I guess maybe we're just Killmongering on 5, huh? If the plan is Shang-Chi plus Hellcow on 6. Killmonger on 5 lets them buff Angela more. Yeah, but that's fine. That sets up, potentially sets us up Shang-Chi for over there anyways, right? Alright, change of plans. And now we have flexibility to either Shang-Chi plus Hellcow or Killmonger plus Hellcow on the last turn. Could do either. And we pulled their Swarm into play here before, we pulled their Swarm into play here before they could discard it to the blade, which is great. And at this point, I think we Shang-Chi the strong guy, right? And then we Hellcow mid. That puts us up to 28, so we even beat Chavez here. Just win left and right. I think the opponent's deck is a much worse version of the Sarah deck gap. I spent a bunch of time playing their deck off stream last night. It feels much less powerful. I agree that you are losing, opponent.
Victory.
That's anecdotal, but I played their deck for like, I don't know, 24 games last night. They're bluffing? I mean, they conceded. I was locked in and ready to go. Pop, drop, and lock it, shit. All right, we've got Storm Juggernaut combo. We got Jubilee into Doc Ock. Let's do it.
What are the odds?
What are the odds indeed? Ooh. Does Elysium change the plan? I think Elysium changes the plan. Pivot. Some of you at home wouldn't make this play. You'd be a coward. Calculated, shit. Cool, cold, cool calculation. What an easy game.
Opponent snapped.
What an easy game. They snapped? Seriously? Oh, I guess they're winning on turn 5, huh? The bot always snaps if it's winning on turn 5. Just Captain Marvel here, and then we can Shang-Chi. We can Shang-Chi their Tiger next turn, and then we could Hell Cow, right? So if we do this, they lose 9, so we're winning here, and even if we lose here somehow, Captain Marvel can bounce over to the Monster Metropolis to help out. Fine, Mr. Hellcow's winning all on his own. Obviously, this was a bot, but yeah, Hellcow feels really good as that last slot. Feels like we want this card to fill on our final turns anyways. This is a good card to do that, to add extra stats to the board. Thanks everybody for out by the way. We had a number of new follows. If you're not familiar with myself, welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. Play a lot of card games and strategy games. Built my brand here doing a lot of Magic the Gathering, but always check out new games when they come out. And I've been absolutely loving Snap since I got into the closed beta. I've been playing it almost every day here on stream for at least a couple hours. If you enjoy the vibes of the channel, make sure you check out my Snap YouTube channel as well. Posting highlights there 4 or 5 days a week, deck highlights, game news, statistics related to the game, etc. A lot of great stuff up there. Not playing into Murder World. We'll play into this. Basically a blank location at this point. I think Killmonger into Sunspot's the snap, right? You're wondering why I'm an okay person to hang out with in terms of card game knowledge. In a past life before I was a full-time content producer here on Twitch, I spent some time traveling on the Star City Games Tour, playing a lot of their competitive tournament Magic the Gatherings, played a couple of their Players Championships, and top-8'd a bunch of their large events. Also have a couple of degrees in mathematics. All right, them hitting Sunspot there and not our Magneto is a good beat. So we have Killmonger lined up to clean that up. Their Zola basically just wasn't a card there, which is nice. What do we think of Doc Ock into the left? Yeah, my mathematics degree was a kind of general degree, so covered lots of different topics in there, from game theory to statistics to a handful other things. Emphasis on top 8. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. We'll see, depending on how this Doc Ock goes, it could be a Shang-Chi plus Hell Cow last turn. Could also be a Killmonger plus Hell Cow last turn.
I am Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Doc Ock is cracked. It's so good into so many of these spots. All right, what's our best chance to win this last turn? Do we Shang-Chi the Magneto into Hell Cow? We could Shang-Chi Magneto, Hell Cow left. They're going first, so if they have another big thing they flip up, we'll need to Hell Cow left, though, because if they just pass, Sunspot could get up to 11 here. I think this is our best shot to win. Yeah, Gambit missing feels good, man. Gambit missing feels good, man. Get out of here. What a cheesy card. It's very on design for the character, but it's definitely one of the highest variance cards in the game. Could have ended poorly for us. Could have hit Doc Ock or, well, I guess if it hit Magneto, Shang-Chi actually still won this pass. So needed to fade the Doc Ock hit there, and we did. We lost to it hitting Doc Ock. We'd have been down to 9 here. Hey, BTY, thanks for the 25 months. Welcome back. Yes, Gambit is the Gambit's not really a variance card in the Wong combo deck, right? It's gonna delete most of the board.
What are the odds?
I think this is gonna be a Storm Juggernaut center into a Doc Ock left game.
Wind aid my
So we'll be even in Hala, assuming we lose the Baxter building, but I think we just want to play to win the Baxter building. Like to pinch, please.
Assemble. Opponent snapped.
Let's assume they play nothing. If they play nothing, Killmonger. If they play nothing, Killmonger kills this, and then they go down to 17. I only have 16 here. We're actually kind of in an awkward spot here, huh? It's the last card in my deck. I have Jubilee. I have Magneto. I have Hellcow, and I have Wave. Hellcow and Magneto both win here. So we're 33%. Wave would get me to 4, and then this would get -3, so it'd be 17 to 20. I think I'm gonna do this, and we'll play the 33%er. Oh, wait, do we lose to them passing, though, because of Sunspot getting bigger? I think we do. Ah, fuck.
Defeat.
Yeah, they just absorbed there. If we would have hit Magneto, we'd have tied. And then we'd have won. We'd have won if we hit Magneto. Okay, so we ended up being 1 and 3 at the end there if they just passed. So maybe we're supposed to retreat there. Supposed to be a bounce out. She will kill 2 of their 4. Not necessarily. Like, if they play a card right there, it doesn't kill Sunspot. So, like, your play makes the assumption that you know what they're doing, and we just, like, can't make that assumption reasonably. Feels like a Shang-Chi plus Hellcow turn 4 into the Strong Guy path, or turn 6 into the Strong Guy path.
When
Hela is not featured. It does keep showing up though, you are correct. I think with Bishop, we just punt this flooded zone now. I was gonna go ahead and Kingpin mid. Anchor Torch Tier, huh? Killmonger might do something, but I don't know how I beat the Angela and the Strong Guy. Because we're losing the right. Because they're probably playing into this path this turn, right? I guess they haven't snapped, so I can Dockgok here and take a turn and see what they do.
I am Iron Man.
Okay, well, Elektra getting pulled into there means Killmonger lets us win the center, but there's no way Hellcow wins left, right? They have 2 cards in hand.
Escaped.
right on time.
So we'll slip Domino into the miniaturized lab. Well, Doc Ock into Sinister London is certainly going to make some content here for us. Because he's gonna, in fact, I'm gonna snap, because they don't get to make any plays on turn 5, right? And maybe it's just good enough that they don't need to, but like, this is kind of great. These are definitely some content keeps geared up here. They only get to play 1 card this turn because of wave. They have 4 cards in hand, so they're gonna play 1, and it'll fill here and here, and then their other 3 cards will fill these in, right? Oh, I do still have Quake over Hellcow in the picture. Good shout. Yeah, that's the only thing that's different. And like, they gave everything in their hand plus 4 chance, so this Shang-Chi might be super live here. Oh, the Hellcow got rid of their other card before they could do it. Okay, so... Huh. There's no way they can beat us in the vault this turn, right? So I just like set up Shang-Chi here and hit pass. Yeah, and then we just like Magneto here. Because even if they slide Nightcrawler and then play Chavez here, we Shang-Chi down the Hellcow. And then Doc Ock plus Shang-Chi plus Magneto is 25 here, which will be more than Chavez plus these 2. That's really solid. All right, that seems to be like a good one to end on. Apologies for the deck picture being a little bit wrong there. My wife and I are gonna play a little bit of Pokemon Unite later this afternoon. I'm gonna be off tomorrow, but I will have a deck highlight going up on the Snap YouTube channel. I'll be back with more Snap stuff on Tuesday. We're gonna do like Tuesday through Friday or Tuesday through Saturday this week, I think.